Hey guys, and welcome to the Parrott Bros. Today we're going to be doing the first ever question and answer time with the Parrott Bros. I'm currently in isolation, so I can't actually go out and work on my cars, even though they have a very long list, and the list isn't getting any smaller. I'll give you an idea of some of the things that I need to do to them. Full A4 page there. So there's plenty of work to be doing in 2021. There'll be loads of videos. But today I wanted to answer some of your questions. There's some really good ones. There's some really great information to be had in this video, so do stick around if you have a TT or if you own an Audi, because there's going to be a lot of information given that's really handy to know. And there's also some funny questions and some stupid questions, but I will try and cover as many as I can in this video. So before I get stuck into it, let's jump into the intro. So last week I put a question and answer thing up on the Facebook and on the YouTube and got quite a good response. Something nearly 40 odd questions, so we'll try and get through them as quick as we can. There's quite a few, some really interesting ones actually. Turn this light down, it's really bright. Don't need to see my shadow. But yeah, so basically I'll go for as many as I can. All the details will be down in the description because there's quite a few links where people have asked questions about how to find parts, part numbers and all that kind of stuff. And I'll put all those details down in the description. Also, if you think of any new questions, maybe this will be a sort of a monthly or bi-monthly thing. So feel free to drop any questions in there. I'll see what I can do as we go. First question is from All Talk, which is Dan. Lovely fella. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out. Does loads of mixed content on loads of different cars. I think he's a car trader, but he just likes to buy cars because he likes cars, and he has a nice beard too. One of his questions was, if you could have any engine from Audi's history in a TT, what would it be? Now, that's an easy one because I'd have the Rally Quattro 5-cylinder engine because the thing sounds awesome. I've watched so many videos on YouTube where it goes banging down Goodwood. Oh, it just sounds phenomenal. I'm also really tempted to do a 1.9 TDI. I think it's been done once before. But it'd be nice to have a TT that just returned stupid like 600, 700, 800 miles per tank. That'd be pretty cool. That or is it? Do they do a 1 litre or a 1.2 TDI in the A2? I know it'd be gutless, but it'd be you could probably get hypermiling, get like 1,000 miles or something out of a tank. That'd be pretty funny. But now definitely the 5-cylinder for that pure noise. Next, BrandingK, what we got here. When did you first get into cars and what made you choose an Audi TT? I have had, I dread to think, over 100 cars. I've always loved cars. I've always liked tinkering with cars, even before I could drive. My dad liked cars. He wasn't particularly mechanically minded, but he loved cars. And I think you're either a car person or you're not. I've just always got stuck in. I could never always afford the most expensive cars, so I bought cars that need doing up, and you just kind of learn as you go. Because if you can't fix it, then you've got to pay someone, which means you can do less to it. So and YouTube helps. I mean, this channel, I've had loads of people message me saying I've done things I've never done before, which is great. I think that's what it's all about. But yeah, I chose a TT because one of my friends had one when I was 18, so some 15 years ago. I thought it was wicked. And it's never really left me. And then I saw this one come up. There was Nagaro Blue. I just sold my B5 S4. And I needed one back in my life. And it's brilliant. I mean, well, there's no looking back now, is there? I've got 6,000 odd subscribers who love TT, so it's all good. Jules, you also want to think about being a secretary. Yeah, that's a little joke we got between us, and I have to trim my beard. Well, I'm not going to trim my beard anytime soon, let's be sure. Till I can get it down to my waist, so we've got a little bit of time yet. And secretary was about being Bws TT's secretary and answering all his emails, which I do not do. Just if anyone wants to know, no. Here's a really good, interesting one actually from Simon. Timing chain on a V6. He's got no paperwork to say if it's been replaced in the past. How can I check if it's okay? How long is it supposed to last? He's done 115,000 miles. Is this one for a mechanic? Now, that's a brilliant question. If you have access to VAGCOM or VCDS, you can actually check the tolerance or the degree as to where the chain is. I'll link a video down in the description, and that's the easiest and most accurate way I know how to. Also, you can go off noise because normally they'll sound horrible if there's stretch or there's an issue. Usually, I don't think the chains have a specific lifespan, but I would say it's definitely one to check, because if you do have to replace them, it can cost you a few grand if you're not going to do it yourself, because I believe you have to get the engine out, and even if you don't, it's not a cheap job. I mean, it's probably £1,000 in parts, so it's definitely one to get checked if you're looking to buy a 3.2 V6. VCDS we'll cover a bit later on, but I'll put a little link in the video as to how to check it if you have access to it, and it shows you all what you need to know. That's a really good question. Again, Dan, Roadster TT for 1 minute non-stop. I mean, let's be honest, we could all name 100 things. My biggest gripe with the car is that the moment you fix it, something else goes wrong. I don't know whether that's just mine or it's everyone's. It's just, there's always something, and it really, really bugs me. I know it's an old car, it's done loads of miles. I don't hate it. At the end of the day, it's what it is. Gives me something to do, gives me something to film for you guys. So, but yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I hate the fact that people think you're a hairdresser, although it's kind of funny, especially when you give them a little bit of a tear off at the lights because they're not quite ready for a good roasting. But it is one of them. But no, I love the car. I could think of 100 things wrong with it. Some of the things, they're just not made right. Like, why would you have no armrest as standard? That's really annoying. It's supposed to be a luxury coupe. There's nothing there. The rear seats, unless you're a small child with no legs, you're not ever going to fit in the back. The boot is the most awkward depth. It's like this deep. Oh, it's just... But no, I love the car. It's brilliant. I haven't really got anything bad to say about it. Please don't break. Just give me a few months of enjoying it. I tell you what, one thing you hate about your TT, because this is definitely going to be a video in the future. One thing you hate about your TT in the description. What else we got here? Do you know any database or such which has blown up drawings of parts or part numbers? Raj. That is a brilliant question. Now, there's a couple. My favourite one is 7-Zap, which I'll put in the description. And basically, you can go into anything from any car, any brand. I'll put the link to Audi TTs, and it lets you literally click on everything from engine components. You say, for instance, you'll click on like PCV system, or you click on inlet, or you click on the boost piping, and it will literally show you a diagram with all the different pipes. You click on it, it'll tell you what the part number is. So if you want to order one, you can look at how much they're on eBay, call TPS, call Audi, whatever it is you want to do. And it gives you the option to be able to do that. And it also covers all the variety of engines from the 1.8s to the 3.2s, from the 180s to the 225s and all that good stuff. So I'll put that link in the description. That's 7-Zap. Wicked website. What are good fitment wheel specs for a TT? What are the best coilovers to buy? So wheel fitments, we've got a wheel fitment guide. This corner, I'll put it up there now. Click on that. That'll take you through to our wheel video. That tells you everything you need to know about wheels. And it gives you a rough idea of what sort of ET you're looking for, fitment and all that sort of great stuff. And coilovers wise, again, we've done a video on that. Have a look. I'll put a link down in the description. It all depends on your budget and what you're using it for. If your best money can buy, go for something like Gaz. They're made in the UK. They're serviced in the UK. If you have any problems, they're literally just in Southend, so you could just pop there. Or Basildon, pop there and just go and get them refurbished. They're not mega money. They come actually cheaper than KWs, and they're fully adjustable. So if you're looking for something good and you don't mind spending a few quid, that's definitely the one to go for. But again, have a look at the video. Right, here we go. Previous owner removed the traction control bulb from the dash pod rather than fix the problem. What are the main components that need to be looked at to try and get it working again? Now, my understanding of the dash clocks are their circuit board LEDs. So unless they've actually physically pulled that out, definitely check that you're saying it's definitely been removed. If it has, there could be a number of things. It could be ABS issue, it could be a wheel sensor issue, it could be the MAF. MAF has brought down for some reason before. It could be something wrong with the Haldex system. The best thing you can do is get it plugged in. See what's there. Get a mechanic who knows the Quattro system just to check it out, because it could be something as easy as a wheel sensor. It could be the Haldex controller. The Haldex might just need a service. There's literally lists of things it can be, but without plugging it in, you're just guessing, and it can get very expensive very quickly doing it that way. But if you want to know more, mate, just drop me a message. The Parrott Bros at outlook.com or Facebook, Instagram. We've got a website. However you want to contact me, mate, just drop me a message and we can have a chat about it more. What else we got here? Hey buddy, just wondering if you've ever sorted your Audi with a P10171 code. Now, This is a great one, not this code specifically. I did have a quick look. And what did it bring up? Oh, I searched for the wrong one, that's why. But there's a good way of searching for what it could be, and just to give you an idea of things to test, and that is to jump on Google and type in Rosstech, Rosstech, followed by what the code is you're getting, and that will usually take you to a page, and it gives you a lovely long list of things that it could be. Now this is saying fuel trim, bank 1, system 2 lean, and then it says possible causes, mass airflow sensor, so your MAF, quite a common one, or an intake leak, which again is a really common one. So check your PCV system and all that stuff, and it gives you a big long list. It gives you 10 things here to check through, so you can try and fault find it yourself, which is a really good one before you go to the garage, because then if you don't know the garage and you don't trust them, you can say, well, I've done all of this stuff first. I've checked the MAF, I've checked the PCV system for leaks, I've checked this, I've checked that. So it's a good starting point, if nothing else. And then it also gives you other things to check if you've got VCDS as well. So that is, again, Rosstech. I'll put it down in the description, followed by the part number you've got. Really good way of sort of fault finding from a distance, should we say. What have we got next? I was waiting for this one to come up. Where does the Parrott Bros come from? Do you have a brother? If so, does he drive a TT? And if not, why not? Right, so I do have a brother. I am one of two. He's better looking, unfortunately. No, so people say. He doesn't have a good beard, though. But yeah, so basically, we were going to do a whole project on something which we haven't been able to do this year because of COVID. And he lives sort of half an hour away, so it sort of comes and goes as to whether we could have started something, then we can't see each other, and it becomes a bit of a nightmare. So we've decided to put it on hold till next year. He doesn't own a TT. He had a Leon Cupra 1.8 turbo, same engine, same platform, but he's now moved to a newer Seat Cupra, and he also bought a kit car. But we're going to be doing some stuff next year. We've got a cool project which we're going to be starting once COVID's over, hopefully. So that's definitely something to look forward to. But I'll stick a picture up just right now if you don't believe me. Here's a picture of both of us. Me in my slender days. But yeah, so that answers that one for you. Right, what else we got? Hi, love your videos. Recently bought a 225 with 189,000 miles as my brother. Or as I told my brother, yeah, it's high mileage, but what do you expect for an 18-year-old car? In saying that, it's been well looked after with no outstanding signs of wear. So, out with putting the car on a dyno, how many horsepower do you reckon it will still have? And is there anything I can help to gain any back? I'm not sure if I am down on power or not, as I've never driven a TT before. Now, that is a brilliant one. My car was probably about 80 or 90 horsepower down when I bought it because it was in limp mode. So, first thing you can do, check all the pipe work. Mine's done 4,000 miles less than yours, and I had a whole load of broken rubber. So, look at anything rubber. Look at all the air hoses, the boost pipes and everything like that. Get yourself a boost cage. I've got a video on how to fit one in the vent, and I'll put all the details on that. But yeah, check what you're boosting at. You should be 10 to 12 PSI on a 225. If you're anything less, you're probably in limp mode. You've probably got leaks. Check all your hoses, make for perishing. Check PCVs for leaks. Just have a good feel around. Normally, if you can squeeze them and they stay squeezed, they're no good, so they're probably blocked. That'll be losing you little ponies. And if, like I said, if you're not boosting 10 to 12, or it might be mapped already, you never know. It could be boosting like 18 to 20, then you know it's mapped. But that's a really good way. It's probably the best diagnostic check you can do is chuck a boost gauge on and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, 189,000 miles. If it's been looked after, you could hope for a good 200. Anything more than that's probably a bonus. To make it better, throw yourself a turbo intake pipe on. And if you want to get really stuck in, get a downpipe and a front mount intercooler. And then you'll probably be looking at about 260-ish with a map, 270 if you're lucky. And then you just pray that the clutch and turbo have been done in the past. Bit of clutch roulette. What else we got here? If there was no TT, which other car would you go for? Now that's a tough one. Because you're sort of trying to find something. To be fair, I would buy anything. I've had so many cars, I get bored. I jump between it. But something like an S3, I quite like the Audi because it comes with nice luxuries, but also you get a good bit of power. It's four-wheel drive. It's just good fun car to drive. You can mod it up to about just under 280, 290 brake for not bad money. They look good. They come in cool colours. They got nice tweaks. So yeah, probably something like an S3 or a 1.8 turbo. They're just easy to play with cars nowadays, and they're cheap. Well, I say cheap. They're cheap to buy. After that it is what it is, I suppose. I'm looking at a TT Mark 1 Cabrio. Any known issues or coupes better? It all depends what you want. If you want a roadster, if you want to be able to put the roof down and get a bit of sun on your head, then yeah, they're great. Check for leaks. Quite common for getting blocked water in the so where the roof comes down, there's like a compartment where the control module sits, and if that's got water in it, it means the floor is going to get wet, the CCM could get wet, and that could cause you a lot of issues, and they're not cheap to replace, because you could get central locking issues and control module issues, which is a bit of a nightmare. So just check for water ingress. Besides that, check the roof's alright. Check it's not leaking around the window, because usually on the bottom corner the window comes out of the roof and can leak, and it's just, if water gets in the car, it's never nice. But besides that, as long as the roof works, it's pretty much the same. They're a little bit heavier, but like I said, it's enjoyable to get a bit of sun on your head. It's nice. I don't mind. If one come up, I'd probably jump on one. I'd quite like a 3.2 V6, you know. Might be a good excuse for next summer. Maybe we'll see if we can find a project one for the Parrott Bros channel. What is your wants list from your donor car? Well, I haven't actually had a proper good look round it yet. I literally bought it on the blind one, went and picked it up, dumped it in my mate's storage unit. I ain't been there since, obviously been in isolation. I was hoping to get a load of videos done, ripping a load of bits off it. So I don't actually know. I wanted a couple of bits, but I don't think they're actually on it. I wanted an under tray and a standard exhaust. Standard exhaust for track days, and the under tray, for obvious reasons, I'm missing one. There's a few other bits I want off it. It's got some IBAC roll bars. I'm debating whether I use them or I keep what I've got on mine, because I put some upgrade ones on mine already. It's got the 6 pot brakes. Again, I don't know, and I might nick the coilovers off it. We'll see. But it's just loads of other little bits and bobs, little sensors, little switches, little pipes. The front pack, the headlights because they've got the silver inserts. Besides that, it's just having a car the same with the same trims and clips I can just pinch as and when I need them. That's pretty much it. And plus, why not have 2 Ts? If you love love having 1 TT, why not have 2 TTs, eh? Twice the love. Twice the headache as well, to be fair. But right, thoughts on a gravity capped back exhaust system available on eBay? Something you'd avoid or something you'd maybe recommend as an affordable upgrade replacement? Now, I have recently been seeing quite a few people fit these, and quite a few people have said that they're not bad. I've looked into Gravity Performance. I was actually going to drop them an email and pop up and see them, but obviously not being able to go out of my house at the moment. We're in lockdown nationally. There's not a great deal I can do, but I will definitely be heading over there to have a chat with them and have a look at their products and that. But they're a UK-based company. The parts look good quality. No one's had any issues. Exhaust-wise, they're meant to sound quite nice. I was hoping to do an exhaust sounds video. Next time we had a bit of a show or a meet, I could obviously film a few different sounds, see what they sound like, how they fit and all that kind of stuff. But we've not been able to do that yet. But no, I'd say, mate, for money, compared to the unbranded ones, the Gravity one's probably one to go for. It looks like it fits well. The only thing I would do is maybe jump on the Facebook and just put a post up and ask for some pictures underneath, because some of the cheaper ones, where the rear diff is, it tends to go like that. So if you're looking under the car, there's a bit where the exhaust sits really low, which can obviously be a problem if you're on coilovers and you've got it a little bit low anyway, because you don't want to hit it on anything. That's about the only thing I'd say with the aftermarket stuff. But besides that, not a problem. I've heard loads of good things about them, so that is definitely one to look at for sure. Right, that's the ones off of YouTube. Okay, so on the Facebook, we've got a couple of messages. So one from David. Hi, I must have a question but can't think of one right now. Just wanted to say I love your videos. What we got? Really helpful. I'm no mechanic but love doing bits and bobs. Very humble TT, only a 150 Roadster. 111k. One previous lady owner, loads of history. One of his dream cars, bought it 3 years ago, midlife crisis. Always a convertible with a midlife crisis in it. Mainly goes out on the sun, but love it. Great to touch base. I appreciate it, mate. Really appreciate the message. Glad to see you're enjoying it. Send us some pictures. Always love to have a little mosey through, see what other people have got. Tom from Motor Monkeys. Why don't you own a VR6 TT since you have two? Do you know what? I've never driven one. Honestly, I've driven an R32 Mark IV Golf. Very nice. They sound amazing. One's just never presented itself when I've had cash and I need to make a really irrational purchase. I'm kind of hoping a little cheap convertible will come up. Maybe for the Parrott Bros to build, maybe? If anyone has any that needs work and wants to sell it to me cheap and be featured in loads of videos. Why did you buy the wrong colour? Well, I bought the Nagaro because it's Nagaro, and the other one I didn't really have much choice on the colour. It just come up and I had to buy it. Show us your family wagon. Also the wrong colour. Yeah, so I've got, obviously I don't know how many of you know, I've got a B8 S4, which is the 3 litre V6 supercharged, even though it says V6T, it's not a turbo. Not sure why that is. But yeah, that's my sort of everyday family take on long journeys. I've been around the ring in it a couple of times. Done Scotland in it. It's just a wicked car. I actually bought it because I had a B5 S4 and I wanted something a little bit more reliable, a little bit newer, something that required less work. I mean, it's 410 horsepower, so it's not slow, but it doesn't give you the thrill that a TT does. It's just not as nimble in the corners. You can't throw it around. It's a S-tronic, so you don't feel as connected as you do with a TT. Plus, I guess if I end up on the grass on a track day, I'll be a little bit more upset if in the S4 that costs quite a few grand more. Plus the TT I can tinker with. The S4, everything's £1,000. I'll throw a couple of pictures up. What cars have you previously owned and missed? Oh, heartbreak time. Oh, do you know what? I had some 13 or 14 Vauxhall Novas. I had a red top. Oh, I think it was wicked. Used to scare the hell out of me, accelerating it, go across 2 lanes of the motorway. Like, oh, I've had loads. Honestly, I couldn't even. I've had so many cars. To be fair, every time I sell one, I regret selling it. So I couldn't say specifically. What else we got here? Andrew, I think my rear diff has gone. It's making a whining noise from the rear centre right. But could it be the Haldex? How do I tell the difference of which? And is it an easy fix even if I have to replace both? Now, I think there's another question actually about Haldexes further down, so I'll answer this all now. So there's a couple of things you can do. Put it on full lock and go slowly. If it feels like one of the wheels is catching or grabbing or skipping, it's probably a Haldex. It could just need a service. It could just be the clutches are knackered. So that's a good one. Get a garage obviously to have a look at it. But if it does do that, and that's quite a common one, check wheel bearings, especially for wheel whining noise. It could well be a wheel bearing because they are super common on these. If you're happy it's not a wheel bearing, get it on axle stands, and if you can safely, get it running, get it up to about 30 or 40 miles an hour or whatever, and see if you can hear a whining noise from the diff. It could well be the rear diff. But I mean, to be honest, with the amount of breakers and parts available now, you could quite easily buy a rear diff, Haldex, controller, everything for like £100–150 from a decent breaker. So the parts are out there. If you do need some bits, it's probably not. It might be worth rebuilding. It depends on how invested you are in the car, or you could just buy another one. I'll also put some details down in the description of how to test it elsewise. Next one, Raceland coilovers, any good? Read loads of positive reviews. Now I've used Raceland coilovers 8 or 10 years ago, and they were all right. They were cheap. I had them on the lowest setting. I bottomed them out a few times, and they were dead within a year. But they've definitely come on a bit. The only issue with them is you're at the lower end of the price, so you could get better shock and spring packs for the same money, but you're sort of at the entry level of coilovers. So you're always going to get a reasonable coilover, but they're not going to be great. Just make sure they've got a good warranty. And the problem with them is if they're in Germany, a German company, which they are, if you get a problem, they're going to want you to take them off and send them back to Germany for them to have a look at them, sort them, etc. So you could be without a car for a month unless you've got spares. So that's why sometimes if you go with the gas and stuff like that, if they're UK based, you could have them there and back within a week. So that's certainly one to think of. But if the reviews are good, the warranty's good, and you're happy, jump in. If you're not going to be doing loads of track days and it's just for road use and you're not going to have them on the lowest setting, you'll probably be alright, mate, to be fair. Looking to remove rear subframe, clean up and powder coat. How easy is a job to remove? It is a pain in the butt. It is heavy as. It's not the worst job to do, but it is quite expensive, especially if you include bushes. You're going to need new bolts and all the other things. Yeah, it all depends on if you're going to do power flex poly bushes, if you're going to get adjustable arms. I mean, you could be in for 500 or 600 quid doing it. So, and obviously you've got to service the Haldex while it's out service the diff. It'd be rude not to. So yeah, definitely worth doing. It's definitely a two-man job. On the floor, it's doable. It's just a pain in the butt. You've got to take the exhaust off, take the prop off, disconnect it from both wheels. It's quite involved. Brake lines as well. That's a scary one. 20-year-old brake lines are always fun to take off. It's doable. If there's two of you, if you're reasonably mechanic minded, you've got a few tools and a little skate and stuff, it's doable. Probably more of a summer job. Unless you've got a garage and it's an all year round job. But yeah, Bryn's got a wicked video on taking one down. I'll link that in there for you. What order would you do the following, assuming your car is running fine? So what we got here: coolant flush, disc and pads, top mount bushes, new rear arms, all shocks replaced, aircon regas, power steering flush. Now, well, there's quite a few there. Power steering flush. I mean, these there's certain things. It depends what needs doing. Do what needs doing first. Top mount bushes and shocks and rear arms, do that all at once because you're going to have most of it off. There's no point taking it off twice. Coolant flush you may as well do when you're doing a service with a power steering flush. They're both, to be honest, when you've got it up in the air, because obviously you want to be able to turn the rack lock to lock if you're doing a power steering flush, which means you'll probably have your shocks off anyway. So do that. Disc and pads, do it whenever you want to do it. I mean, maybe that one you can hit whenever you want. An aircon regas, I'd do that last, because if you have to take anything off and you have to take your aircon rad off or have to move anything, then that's the last thing you want to do for sure. Is there such thing as a good OBD reader? Currently searching for one. Darren Curtis. That is a good question. Now, I've had a couple of cheapies, and the problem is the older TTs, a lot of OBD2 stuff is only good from like 2001, 2002 onwards. So some of the, someone sent me out one. It was like a £20 one, but it should scan for codes. And now it doesn't pick up anything on my car, which is a bit crap, when I can plug it into VCDS and it picks up everything. So I'm actually going to get contact a few companies, get them to send me some stuff out, and I'll try a few on a couple of different cars, and then I'll report back for you. Someone's mentioned the Carly, or you can get VCDS, you can get Vagcom. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's basically dealer or service quality software, and you can check everything, and there is hundreds of YouTube videos on how to use it, and it's a very, very powerful tool. If you intend to stay in the VAG sort of scene for quite a few years, definitely invest in one, because you can do everything. You can change stereo code, you can all sorts of reprogram keys, all sorts of stuff. So that is definitely one to do, but I'll report back about the code readers. If anyone's got a great code reader, jump in the description, let us know. I'll be more than happy to have a look at that as well. Jules, here we go. Do one on what's the best to use cleaning your interior clocks. Oh God, why are they steaming up on the inside? You have to give me a little bit more one about that, Jules. Do an easy how to replace the hazard switch relay. Yes, Dina, that is a wicked one. I will put that top of the list. I'll do that on the breaker. I'll do a little video on how to replace the hazard relay. Now, if you've not heard about this, basically, sometimes one day maybe you'll go to indicate and then it will stay on solid, or it won't tick, or it won't stop ticking, or you'll have an issue of some description. You can normally just give the dash a whack next to your hazard switch in the middle, and it might come back on again. They're quite prone to failing, so I will do a video on how to remove that and how to refit it. And that looks like we're about it, guys. I hope that's been helpful. Like I said, anything you want to know, or any future videos or anything like that, or anything about the video, jump into the comments, let us know. Everything we've discussed I'll link up in the description. And that's Dom from isolation. Hopefully the next video will be me out working on the car. But nice to see you. Stay safe. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.